beats. If you notice in this video, there's a lot of background noise. I'm gonna show you how to get rid of that. But that's why that's why I haven't done nothing about it yet. I kind of wanted this to be natural. So this is a walkthrough, making a beat from beginning to end. I'm not gonna go too crazy in some aspects because I feel that you can comment and then I can make a video on a specific topic more in detail. But I kind of just want to give a rough explanation / visual of how I go about making beats from beginning to the end. You'll see apps in this video that you do have to purchase. I mean, Loopy Pro, it's already like a $30 app. Take my advice, buy apps. Watch reviews, look into stuff, read forums, go on Reddit, see what's best for the genre you're making, and don't be cheap. iOS has come a long way, and they got some good stuff. Synthmaster 2 is great. What's the other one? You got the Chord instruments. You got Pure Sound, Platinum. You got Loopy Pro, Beatmaker 3, Nail Studio 2, GarageBand's free, I believe. There's a lot of good stuff, and it's worth buying it. But you'll see stuff in this video that I'll tell you, that I purchased it. And if I'm using it, I already recommend it, so I don't really go too far into it. Anyway, so I'm going to turn this off because we're not recording my vocals. Now, this doesn't have nothing to do with making beats, but just for cutting the background noise out. I have another video where I showed this, but if you didn't see that video, this is for you now. So you got, I think it's better to put on a pre-fader or Bruce Free, however you say it. This app here is great for noise cancellation. What you do is you hit the button in the middle with the ear and you hold it for a few seconds. Don't say anything. It's gonna cut out the frequency of all the background noise. So watch. I didn't mute myself. So as you can see, it works pretty well. I mean, we put a beat over these vocals. You're not gonna hear no background noise for the most part. I'm actually using the iPad's microphone and Bluetooth headphones. So if anything I say is a little behind my action, that's why. But I think this actually sounds pretty good as well for Bluetooth headphones and using my iPad's microphone. The iPhones on these iPads, these new iPhones are really good, so you can get away with a lot. I never would say using a professional microphone isn't a better way to go, but you can do a lot with just your iPad and your iPhone. Anyway, let's get started making some music. You can do whatever you want in Loopy Pro. Me personally, I usually delete most of these bubbles at first. And I've shown this in other videos, but I don't always have vocals. I usually just put text on the screen. What I have for my settings, for the clip settings, because I make beats, I'm not doing live music, this is how I have it. My playback, play stop quantization's on master. And then I have, let's see, what's the other thing? Count in and count out, I have them on none. Don't remember if it comes like that, but that's what I have. For that, wait for playback is checked on. It won't. So what you have to do when that's selected, for instance, say I want to record my audio, these vocals, I hit the red color, it's not a red bubble, and not a red bubble, not a red bubble for it to start recording. For actual MIDI, well, you'll see, it'll make sense in a second. So just 1 second, let's see. I'll come down here. I think that's everything that I changed from the default. Let's see. Let's take this off. So generally, I start with my chords or my melody. So I'm gonna show you 2 ways you can do that. Like I said, pretty much everything I'm gonna be using is a paid app. Also, Loopy Pro doesn't come with anything. It's just the DAW itself. Sorry, my dog's in here. You can comment below other DAWs that you would like to see me make music in, and I'll make a similar video in a different DAW as well. I probably will eventually regardless, but you can give suggestions to get that DAW, you know, if you want to see me do more Beatmaker 3 or GarageBand, you know, etc. So obviously hit the plus button in the bottom right, add MIDI. And the first one I'm going to show you is a little more hands-on, is Atom piano roll. This gives you that piano roll vibe. You have your scales, so you can harmonic minor. It could be F harmonic minor. Then you close the scales, hit add, make a chord progression real quick, or at least a chord. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what you want to do, this is just one chord, you know, but there's a triad, but hit launch. Before you can play anything with the stuff, you do have to set a tempo. So we'll just put it at 120. Let me show you what it sounds like. Those damn birds. Not special. 1 second. Trying to get more of the noise out. Another way, which is a new app that just came out. Not a new app in general or new software in general, but Scalar 2 is now out. Actually, we'll just mute Atom. Add this to base. Now, I like Scalar 2. I don't mind making my own chords in regards to drawing them out, but sometimes you just want to get to the point quicker. Scalar 2 is really awesome for just really getting what you want out fast. Most people know how to use this now, but obviously you hit the scales button, you go to your scales. If you hit the all notes, you can pick a specific note. So we'll just do, actually we'll just do the same thing, F. And then here's all the scales in the key of F. And I want the harmonic minor. This is all for educational purposes, so I'm not going to go too hard with the vibe, but you'll see. So we got a chord progression. Now check this out. It played once, and it played like every chord, every 2 beats. So you can switch this to 4 beats. That way the chord lasts a whole 4 bar or a whole bar measure. Down here in the C section where you drag your chords to make the progression, you hit this button, the 2 arrows. It's going to keep it on loop. So with this sequence button, you can change the playback as well. So, for example, I can make everything repeat itself twice. Or not every other one. You know, you get it. This is how you can kind of add the groove and flavor flavor to the chord progression before you actually record the audio or MIDI from it. So that's a brief explanation. So I'm gonna just show you how to record it from there. So we'll do Atom first. Mute scaler. So now that we selected the destination to be the blue color, all of our blue bubbles or squares, however you shape your icons up here, this is where it's going to record. Now, because I have waiting for playback on, when I tap the specific color that the destination is set to, it will highlight red and it won't start recording until I hit the play button. This is perfect because now you don't have to worry about synchronizing when you push the play button and start the melody or chord progression. Another thing you want to do is if you swipe up, set your loop length so that once it hits that amount of bars, it stops recording. So look. So when I mute this, there you go. Another fun tip, an example just to get your mind rolling of what you could do with this software as well. There's only 4 chords, so there's no reason to have more than 4 pads, but you can like sample in its own weird way. So look, it's interesting to me because you can't get perfect chops all the time. But like even this, like say I got that chord progression and I want to make the melody myself, or the groove, I should say. So you gotta excuse me because since I'm using Bluetooth headphones, it lags, so it's kind of hard for me to really groove well, but you get the point. So anyway, delete that. Now, let's clear this. And we're going to unmute scaler. So it's the same thing. So now that you got that, another tip that I showed in another video, if you use Scalar 2, you already probably know this, but if you just bought it, you never used it, this perform button here allows you to add basically the melody out of the chords. So you can add the melody with your chord if you want. Not every beat needs, both. I generally do use both to switch the beat up a little bit and such. So, same premise. All right, so right now we got this. One of the beauties of this app and using the audio, because for instance, I can switch this up at any moment, save these sessions within these MIDI applications and switch it up, whatever, make multiple different types of variations. But when you have the audio here, time stretching in a way. So let's change the BPM down to 95, give it more of an eerie sound, because now it's going to be slower. Right? They're on separate channels, But at any moment, I could just change this to be on channel blue. And then I'm gonna add this reverb. You don't have to do it the way I do it, but this is just the way I always organize things, kind of one way or the other. We're gonna want this. Oh, I think I hit the. My bad. Hold on. So we're gonna just add the drums real quick. So there's a plethora, obviously, of apps you can use for drums. I personally think Koala Sampler is the best. Because it's just a sampler, it has so many capabilities as itself. What I do with my drums, I record them all on separate channels. That way I can mix them easier. So I have 4 blocks here. And we're going to do the kick, clap, slash snare, hi-hat, 808. Everything else is additional to your percussion. And that's where you really can add some of your flavor or creativity, because depending on what genre you're doing, your drums are going to have a certain style to them that makes them a part of that drum style or that genre. You know, hip hop and trap are slightly different. Boom bap is different than trap beats, and how you're going to program them. So Koala Sampler is hella cheap and it's hella dope. Open it up, import file. Sorry, 1 second here. So we'll do kick. It previews it for you, which is awesome. We'll just use that. Come back here, clap. That's good enough. Hi-hat. All right. So you see how sometimes the app resets itself or whatever, I don't know. But like for 808, put in one shot. So just tap it. This thing. Also for the 808, put that on a choke. That way every time you hit it again, it cuts itself. So let's make something simple here, bro. In regards to making drum patterns, I always recommend starting at 1 bar, make a loop, duplicate that 1 bar, switch up the second half, duplicate those 2 bars, dramatic switch up at the end. So for instance, this is only 2 bars, so we'll double it up. And here at the end, I take the hi-hats out, the kick, everything. We'll do it like that. So this is what it sounds like. Not very dramatic, but dramatic enough that your ear knows that the loop's over and it's about to start again. So Koala added the solo button, so this is great. We'll do the kick first. Set that motherfucker on 4. Alright. I hate this noise. Alright. Set that to 4. Then we're going to solo clap. Next is the hi-hat. And then last is the 808. So we'll solo that. Alright, I can mute Koala now. So this is a simple beat. Let me just show you how you can go from here. Alright. My dog's still being annoying, but now a lot of people get to this point and they're like, what do I do next? So here's some tips. For every drum pattern, hi-hat pattern, 808 pattern, make a duplicate. Well, not a duplicate. Oh, yeah. So make a duplicate, make a change. For instance, here's my drum pattern here. So if I come in here, I could add an additional kick or take some of the hi-hats out. You just want to make differences so that you can switch up the beat. Every 4 to 8 bars, you want to switch up the beat. Also, for example, we'll do it with just the chord progression. So look. So the sounds. So you could just put this up an octave, 12 semitones. It gives it some variation, but you would obviously want to do that on a different track or a different bubble, however you want to go about it. That way you have the ability to go back and forth without needing automation. Automation isn't as good on all these apps as it would be like an FL Studio or something, but there's always workarounds. Now, for Loopy, I love this software. I'm gonna give you guys some reasons why I find this software so good. I mean, for one, I'm using a Bluetooth headphones right now. My Beats Studio Pros or whatever they call it. They're Bluetooth ones, the little earbuds, and you hear how well the connection is. I'm over here making a whole video with it. It just handles all these plugins that come with iOS or come on iOS. Well, I've had the best experience using audio units, using what was the old way? Let's see. Inter app audio even works pretty well. So I mean, I'm gonna have more in depth. Well, actually, I'm thinking about making another video soon where to show how to use plugins and how to go about that. Just plugins. But it's just very simple once you get used to it. Now, the thing that can make Loopy a little intimidating is the fact that it's so open and modular that you may not know what to do. But it's great. You know, you hit this pencil button, you can add more to your pages, add more. These bubbles are for where you record your loops. You can change them to rectangles and squares. Whatever fits best for your mind. I mean, this is more for like live performances, but at the same time, you're still organizing your quote unquote like playground or whatever until you actually sequence your beat. So when this comes out on Mac and Windows, which I think it will, definitely probably Mac over Windows, but it's gonna be so fucking lit. You know, this is really good software, and I think it's comparable with Ableton and Reason, and you know, it does suck that it doesn't have its own like piano roll, but who knows, he might be adding one. So anyway, normally I would label all my clips. I'm not gonna do it right now for time purposes, but it's easy. You swipe up, clip name, or like within this menu, if you just tap the pencil, same thing. But you just tap in your loops. So we're not doing nothing crazy. Just to give you an idea of what this, how you can sequence. Questions, I'm probably gonna do a video on how I mix some stuff. Maybe not, because I don't really have any school teaching in regards to my mixing and mastering. It's just things I've learned and things that sound right to me when I do them. If you do want me to do a video on how I mix and master my beats, I'll show you. But that's pretty much it, just to get started. It all comes down to creativity and what you want to do with your beats or your music. A quick tip I'll give you guys that a lot of people don't really talk about in the iOS community. I mean, just peep this. So, I'm gonna just play the whole beat. Now, we know our BPM is 95. And our scale is F harmonic minor, right? So what I'm gonna do here is add a color. Oh, I already got enough, my bad. Set another bubble. We'll make this bubble yellow. I'm just a little, whatever. Just trying to get it to be the same size as the other ones, but it's not even important right now. So let's go to the main menu. You can see all my little apps, see some of the shit I like. This app right here is so good. It's a looper as well, but with way less options. But the reason why I really like it is because there's all these loops that are like perfect just to add to something. So if you want something, an extra melody, some drums to spice it up, and you just want to figure out something real quick that will work with the same BPM and scale, or key, I should say, this is great. Also, let me turn on my data. Just don't want no text to come through. But look, these sound packs are like $2. Whenever it decides to load up. So, I mean, like, for instance, I bought this. Whatever, it loaded up some more stuff, but the point is for $2, you get 48 loops. So that's drums, percussion, vocals, bass, melodies. And a lot of this stuff is useful. Some of it isn't, but it's also good to spice up the beats. Let me show you something. When you push these loops in, or if you pick a loop, it's going to change the key. So to keep it in the key that we want it to be in, just pick a random melody loop, put in the key that our beat is in. Our beat's also on a BPM of 95, so we want that there. So now when I add this, it's always going to be in the key I kind of like that. It's not much, and for tutorial purpose, we'll just do this real quick. So export. Go back to Loopy. Swipe, hit the arrow down button. So now you can open your media bay within Loopy. Go to samples. This is the one I just imported. Also, if your sample is already at the BPM and everything that your project is, turn time stretch off. All right, so let's see what it sounds like together. So for instance, I'm not even gonna add in the whole loop. I'm gonna just add it in my the verse. All right, so let's listen to it. And a verse. All right, well, that's, like I said, that's pretty simple there. Like I say, you want to make switch ups in between your chorus and your verse. I make a lot of times the less switch ups in the chorus because you want the chorus to be kind of repetitive for the chorus vocals as well. But for the verse, it's nice to switch it up a little more. If this was more of an in-depth beat, I would have more tracks and more sounds going on. Another tip is whatever MIDI you use for your main melody, your main chords, add that to another sound, another plugin, and add more variation. For example, I'll just show you what I mean real quick. We'll open up this again, and we'll look up the harp. Okay, so we got the harp loaded up. And if I hit this to go to the new one, now you got another sound. You can record it to another track, another bubble, and now you have more variation as well. You can switch it up with those sounds as well, or blend the sounds, stack the sounds. Like I said, comment below for any specific tips on making a beat, or anything that was in this video that you want like more information on or more detailed about. Like I said, I'm just trying to grow this channel and grow a community with people so we can start doing stuff together, working together, or just learning from each other. So definitely comment, tell me what you want to know, what I missed, and I'll make a video this weekend about it. Either way, stay safe, stay positive, and make more music.